Welcome to the Purim Spiel. We've worked very hard once a week to bring this to you. Probably not giving too much away, but the basic plot is that Haman's going to outlaw Jewish humor. Uh-oh.
If you've seen The Greatest Showman, some of the music is going to sound a little familiar. So, let's get started. Shh. There we go. What do you call a room full of people? Full of glitz, full of magic, a buzz in the air, the feeling that anything can happen.
Yes, keep going.
They're all dressed in costume. The drinks are flowing. Acrobats are walking across the tightropes. The lions are roaring. People are riding elephants. Everyone is having a blast.
I think I know what you're getting at. Drinks, glitz, pizzazz. It must be.
Yes.
It must be.
Yes.
Live in the month of Adar, it's Purim at Shir Shalom.
Well, that wasn't quite what we were getting at, but that's okay.
But every year, we put on the most amazing productions. We slave for months and months. The actors are incredible. The sets are nothing short of amazing. The whole sanctuary is transformed.
You're right about that. But I'm not talking about any Purim. I'm talking about this production, this cast, this script.
No, I can't believe what you're saying. You must be out of your mind. Basing it on the movie starring Hugh Jackman? It just can't be.
It is none other than the greatest Shushan man. Wait, what? Well, we didn't get the rights to the movie for obvious reasons. So instead, we're bringing you our version of what would happen if you crossed Purim with a circus.
Maybe we can call it Purimicus or Circus Serum or... Jackman in the flesh, or at least the best impersonation of him that we could come up with at Shir Shalom.
We love you, Hugh! Good day, mates. Sit back and enjoy the show. Jews and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. Been searching the Megillah, your spit's soaking through the floor. And buried in your kishkas there's a source that you can't ignore. Taking your ruah, stealing your eye, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's Purim, it's coming at ya. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your Shushan dream, can't you see it getting closer? Just surrender cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's Purim, it's freedom, it's coming open. It's a rabbi on the pulpit and your blind devotion. It's the breaking of the scroll of every Megillah, holding all that you know. So tell me, do you want to go?
You definitely had me at Shushan at Shir Shalom.
Speaking of which, I think it's time I take you there and then.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, we are indeed going right to King Ahasuerus' palace, where he's throwing a party to end all parties. Welcome to Crazy Rich Persians!
Let's make like Hugh Jackman and say,
Whoa! Everybody who is anybody is here with us.
Is this what you call a circus? It's so posh and snobby. It's snoshy.
King, you've outdone yourself. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my!
Can you say partay?
And food and drinks are on the house.
What about that royal schmaltz? To die for!
As your number one servant, I must hand it to you, Kingy.
Please, Haman, do not call me. As the king, I hereby decree that there shall be no groggers during the performance. As soon as it is over, we shall continue. Haman says, put the groggers down, please. Anyway, Haman called me Kingy, and I hate being called Kingy, so don't call me that anymore.
Well, King, this is certainly a party. A party and all parties.
Well, no one ever made a difference by being like everyone else.
That sounds like something the actual PTs would have said.
PT? PT? Whom?
P.T. Barnum, you know, the inventor of the circus.
PT, partially Trafe, Barnum? Is it party time? Practical Tom? Is it physical therapy?
No. Phineas Taylor, right?
Oh. Well, speaking of circus, isn't it time to get ready?
Ready? Ready for what?
Ready to get the circus started. Send in the clowns.
Oh, Sir, I think there's a bit of a problem. The clowns are tied up at the moment.
What do you mean, tied up?
No, not actually tied up. You know how clowns have very big feet? Well, that leads to very big foot problems.
And?
Then they're actually at the podiatrist's office right now.
Oy vey. Well, what are you waiting for? Go get them.
Oh, quick! I need you to come back to the palace.
But we haven't been seen yet, and our feet are killing us!
Well, what's the hold up?
Every time we go to the podiatrist, they start singing Sondheim.
Wait, what? Singing Sondheim? What does that mean?
See for yourself.
They'll make us rich, feet that need care. Where have they disappeared, gone from our chairs? Where are the clowns? Bunions we miss, toes out of groove. Not even Bozo's around with his aching hooves.
Where are the clowns? Where are our clowns?
Just when we stopped our market campaign, we now see nary a clown with a tear or a sprain. The men make their entrance again with their usual flair. Sure of their lines, steals in the air. They just love farce an exam later, my dear.
But where are the clowns?
There has to be clowns. Well, maybe next year.
I am sorry, doctors, but the king needs these clowns right away.
Well, maybe next year.
Ollie, my feet are killing me. Where it's covered in the colored lights, where orange fields are run in the night, impossible comes true, it's hanging over you. Oh, the greatest Shoeshine Show.
We'll feel it up, we won't clown down.
And Rabbi can't stop us now. Nothing has come true. It's hanging over you. Oh, the greatest Shoeshine Show.
Well, that's more like it, Haman. Now I'm ready for the greatest clown of all, my queen.
Excellent idea, King.
Oh, but there is a problem.
She won't come into the ring for the show.
Well, can you blame her in that endorphin-filled room?
But the audience has already laughed so much.
How could anybody be funny after all those clowns?
Queen Vashti! Queen Vashti! Queen Vashti!
Go away, Sheldon.
The king requires your presence in his chamber. Put on your finest clownery and come out to the king's chamber now.
Come to show me off, have they? Well, I'll show them who's funny. I'm not a stranger to these requests. Come this way, they say. We want to show you off. I won't be shamed into showing skin. Come this way, they say. No clothes required, come as you are, but I won't let them bring me down to dust. I know there's no place for nakedness, for this is foolishness. When sexist jokes want to cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna clown them out. I am brave, I am game, I am who I'm meant to be. It's funny, cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat of fun. I'm not scared, I'm the queen, I make no apologies. It's funny.
What is this? What is going on? Vosh, this is not very clownly of you.
King, you must do something about this. The bearded lady is trying to take over the circus.
Another round of insults hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let that Shonda in. We are bursting through the hurricane and reaching for the sun. We are humorous, and that's why we hate Haman. That's why we hate Haman.
affliction. Whoops, wrong holiday. This is the beard of my affliction. This is certainly not funny.
Vashti, does it sound like we're laughing?
Ha! You just have bad taste.
Well, look at the audience. Does it look like they're laughing at you?
Or are they laughing at you?
I don't have to take this. I am a performer.
And a bad one at that.
Move aside. Vashti, if you can't make me laugh, you are hereby banished from my kingdom. Guards, take them all away.
I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. It's funny. Woo!
Oi, Masa. What have I done, Haman? What have I done? Vashti, the bearded one, was the only one that could ever make me laugh. I may never laugh again. Wah! Wah! Wah!
Oh, I know. King will simply have a humor contest. We'll invite all the jokesters in Shushan to display their acts before you, Your Majesty.
Will there be acrobats and jugglers and bassoon players?
Anyone with talent who makes us laugh will call it.
Shushan's got talent, and of course I'll be one of the judges.
Well, of course you will. She will be your queen after all, and you must approve.
So signs go out all over the kingdom. There's even a blast through Shir Shalom's news app.
Shir Shalom's communications committee goes crazy.
Did it go up on the Facebook yet?
Yes, I sent it out right away.
Thanks, Julia.
You are welcome, Mark.
A piece of Jewish history. This is the year 5779. On the Chinese calendar, it's the year 4717. That means Jews went 1,062 years without eating Chinese food. Meanwhile, at a small out-of-the-way tent, a very talented young lady is singing her heart out, dreaming of life under the big top tent.
With her eyes on Perimachus in the near distance.
It's a shanda. There's no one here to notice.
Or is there?
Do you have to give everything away? Can't you let the audience figure anything out on their own?
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, it feels like sheer shalom. They can say that I sound crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. I will act in a spiel that I design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million jokes are keeping me awake. I think of what the spiel could be, a Megillah that belongs to me. A million jokes are all it's gonna take. A million jokes for the spiel I'm gonna make.
Esther, is that you singing? I've never heard a more beautiful voice. And look what popped up on the Shir Shalom news app. An advertisement of auditions for Shushan's Got Talent. First place is bound for the circus.
Uncle Mordecai, are you sure it isn't Russian hacking?
No, I think this is your chance to shine. It says calling all funny people. Acrobats, bassoon players, clowns, anyone who thinks they can make us laugh. Must be funny to apply.
I can be funny.
I'm not sure stand-up comedy is really your strong suit.
Oh, yeah? Well, watch this. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Achashverosh.
Ahasveros who?
Gesundheit. That's right. His name sounds like a sneeze.
You've made my point. Just look at the audience. Even they're nodding off.
So I'm no Mrs. Maisel. I have a few other tricks up my sleeve.
Esther, please, just stick to singing.
Hit it, Max. They can say that we sound
crazy. They can say we lost our minds. I don't care, cause Purim's crazy. Run away to a spiel that we design.
Every night I plot in bed. Evil schemes run through my head. Let's kill the king whose riches we will take.
I think you two should come with me.
The king, he will belong to me.
A million jokes is all it's gonna take. A million jokes for the spiel we're gonna make. Let's go to the auditions.
So as P.T. Barnum was starting the circus, he traveled to New York City, and he was looking for interesting things. He stopped in Tannen's Magic Shop, which is one of the most famous magic stores in the country. And he talked to the owner, and he says, I need some magic. I need something to spice up the circus. So the owner said, well, you know, you need a silk. We got a silk here that you could have. And he said, well, that's a little small. He says, I don't know if I really need that. He said, well, you should have a silk at least. And so he said, well, how much is that? And he said, it's $25. And P.T. Barnum said, well, you know, this is hard times. I mean, $25 is a lot of money for a little silk. And he said, well, just wave it around, and then suddenly it'll turn into a cane, and you'll be all set. So.
Here we are under the big top tent, and the line is immense. It looks like everyone in Shushan thinks they have talent.
Ma'am, what is your talent?
Well, I can breathe fire. Wanna see?
Well, maybe next time. How about you, sir?
I can eat 1,000 hamantashes in 5 minutes.
Ew, gross. What about you, little boy?
Well, I drive my parents crazy if you call that a talent.
As you can see, the judges have their hands full.
All right, send in the first contestant.
Presenting the Disney princesses.
Let it go, let it go.
No, anything but that. Next.
Presenting the jugglers.
going well. It looks like King Ahasuerus is starting to lose his patience.
Where is it? Where is my funny bone? Oh, here it is, right in my hand. Sorry.
King, it's time for the next act.
Presenting General Katantan.
Get it? General Katantan is the size of a thumb, so I painted my thumb.
Next!
Now the king is boiling mad.
It looks like he's about to explode.
Haman!
Yes, Your Highness.
Oh, Haman, did you really think this is such a good idea?
It does appear there's a sucker born every minute, and they all showed up here today.
Is that another line from Hugh Jackman?
P.T. Barnum. Hugh Jackman is just the actor.
Ah.
King, I think it's time for the next act.
Presenting Esther.
Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million jokes are keeping me awake. I think of what the spiel could be, a Megillah that belongs to me. A million jokes the Rowlade's gonna take. A million jokes for the spiel I'm gonna make.
This is it. I found it. Oh, it's good to be the kingy. Haman, you're a genius.
Did I win? Did I win?
Where's the crown?
Was I really that funny?
We are going to make a killing on her voice. Or rather, I am going to make a killing on her voice.
As Haman leaves, it looks like he's ready to take over the world.
Why is the little strawberry crying? His mother is in a jam. Get it?
It looks like he wants to be the king.
King of comedy, more like.
Why are frogs so happy? They eat whatever bugs them.
Make that bad comedy.
No, my fair narrators. I will be king. King of comedy. King of time. Thank you.
Is that the king's funny bone? His humorous?
No.
Oh, yes, it is. I can make anyone laugh. Anyone at all. Watch this, audience. Laugh for me. Laugh harder. And you. And you pirouette as well. How about a curtsy over there, you? What is your name, sir?
Mordecai.
Everyone else is laughing. Why don't you?
Because I'm Jewish.
Jewish? And that means you don't like humor?
No, it means we only like good humor.
Oh, yeah? Try this one. How do you befriend a squirrel? Just act like a nut. Thank you, dear. Get it? Squirrels like nuts.
It's not the squirrel who's nuts. You are.
Oh, yeah? Try this one. What do you call a pony with a cough? A little horse. A little horse, because he's got a sore throat.
Nope, that's not going to do it. Those are the worst jokes I've heard since Mel Brooks's History of the World, Part 1.
Are all Jews like this?
Pretty much.
Then you Jews don't deserve to live in my kingdom. Either laugh at my jokes or die. All the shine of 1,000 laugh lines, all the jokes we steal from Seinfeld will never be enough. Will never be enough. Golden Globes are still too little. These hands could hold an Oscar. It'll never be enough. Will never be enough for me. Never, 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 unless I'm funny. Never enough. Never enough. Unless I'm funny. Thank you for the clap.
So, as P.T. Barnum was going around the country, he was looking for all kinds of acts, and he ran into one guy, and he says, well, I've got a great rope trick, and P.T. says, well, let me see it. So he took out his rope, and young lady, would you check the rope, make sure that's a real rope for us? Okay. Have you ever used the scissors before? Okay. We have to check for insurance purposes. So what I'm going to do here is I will make a little loop in our rope. And then if you will be so kind as to cut that for us. Okay, so he showed PT this trick. Let's see, he was trying to remember what the guy had told him. Then he thought he did this. He wasn't quite sure, but then he said, oh yes, and the rope is restored. And but then he found that some people aren't impressed with that. So, but then he forgot the wiffle dust. He knew that he had to have some wiffle dust for this trick. So luckily, he had brought some wiffle dust with him. He sprinkled it over the rope, and then when he came back, indeed, the rope was restored.
The magic is magical tonight. Unfortunately for Haman, the humor, it just is not happening.
Well, Haman can never be funny.
Unless you count being laughed at.
Well, that's funny and true at the same time.
It doesn't stop here.
No, it certainly does not.
Haman, now in a huff, goes to see the king.
Kingy! We have some important business to attend to.
I told you not to call me Kingy. And give me that funny bone.
Sorry, King.
Well, Yes?
There is a people among us who are humorless.
This is terrible.
Definitely not something to laugh at, especially in Shushan at Congregation Shir Shalom.
No, indeed. I hereby give you permission to use my funny bone in any way you choose.
All right now, clown. Come and take my script. There. They will die. Jews will die. Let's go make them die. Let them hang so high. Yellows up to the sky. 'Cause they think they've tried. Now they're mortified. And the world becomes a comedy. And you're more than you will ever be. So laughing with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in. But you're laughing with your eyes wide open. They will die. Jews will die. Let's go make them die. Let them hang so high. Goes up to the sky. 'Cause they think they've tried. Now they're mortified. And the world becomes a comedy. And you're laughing with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in. 'Cause you're laughing with your eyes wide open. And this is definitely no laughing matter. No, it isn't. I do declare on the 13th day of the month of Adar, all Jewish jokes must die.
All right, get out of here. The Communications Committee is called in once again to spread the word.
Mark Slodum and Julia Cohan, you are on.
Well, you know, we aren't really actors.
Yeah, but you're the best we've got. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, the parts of Mark Slonim and Julia Cohan tonight were played by Mark Slonim and Julia Cohan. We apologize for the confusion.
Well, tell me, what exactly do you need us to do?
We need a social media blast.
And what should it say?
Jewish jokes must die. Come the 13th of Adar, 5779.
I'm really uncomfortable with that message. Are you sure this is a good use of our committee?
Done! Already out on the news app. Tell the audience they'll be receiving a ding any moment now.
Ding!
How do you like them apples? Get it? Get it?
More Jewish history. Moses was actually the first person to download files onto his tablets from the cloud.
Meanwhile, outside of the palace, Mordecai locates his niece.
Esther, our people are in mortal danger.
What do you mean, Uncle?
Haman intends to destroy our humor forever.
That doesn't exactly sound mortal.
How could we live? No more Seinfeld, Brooks, Sandler, or my favorite, Sarah Silverman.
Oh no. What would happen to Rob's Comedy Playhouse?
Without Jewish humor, it would be nothing.
There are bigger things than comedy clubs. Without our humor, what will become of us? You must go to the king.
Go to the king? No. You must be joking. If I'm not summoned, I will be killed. Literally killed.
You'll have to take that risk. All of our futures are dependent upon you.
You might as well be asking me to rewrite the stars.
Forget about rewriting the stars. We will have to rewrite all of our jokes.
I want to help you, but it's a secret I try to hide. And going to the king, I am saying my hands are tied. You know it's not in the cards, and fate is pulling you miles away and out of reach from me. But you're here in my heart. I can't stop Haman. I'm schwätzing is death my destiny.
But if we rewrite our jokes, say that you went to the king, say that you did your part, you'll be the one king was meant to find. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one can say if we are funny. Why don't we rewrite our jokes? Maybe the world can be saved for Jews.
You think it's easy? You think I don't want to help us Jews without King's funny bone? The King's door I cannot walk through. I know you're wondering why, because we're able to be Jews, you and me, within these walls. But when we go to the king, you're gonna wake up and see that it was hopeless after all. A mess.
What if we rewrite our jokes? Say that we went to the king, say that we did our part. One king was meant to find. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one can say if we are funny. Why don't we rewrite the jokes? Maybe the world can be saved for Jews.
All right. I'll do it. We couldn't live without humor.
And we will be there to laugh with you all along the way.
So Esther spends the next 3 days working on her humor.
And Mordecai, with the rest of the Jews, work on their laughter.
And finally, she's ready to approach the king.
All right. Here goes nothing. King, my king, I have something to tell you.
Yes, my dear?
Oh my God, if his funny bone doesn't go up, I know I'm done for. I just want...
Yes?
To tell you a joke.
Oh?
The William Tell family, in their day and time, were well known as bowlers. But researchers have gone through the records of all the local bowling alleys and can find no mention of the Tell family team. Which is why we'll never know for whom the Tells bowled.
He's laughing. Why, Esther, that's quite clever. Tell me more.
Remember Gandhi?
The Indian mystic?
He walked everywhere he went, and he never wore shoes. He was very frail in his old age, and as a strict vegetarian, he suffered from bad breath, which is why he is known as the super calloused, fragile mystic plagued with halitosis.
Haman, come hither. You have to come over here and hear some of our new queen's outstanding humor.
Oh, I'm all ears, Your Majesty. That's all the jokes I have prepared.
All right, Queenie, fire away.
Easy now, boys. Why don't you come over to my tent tonight? I'll have more humor for you then.
Okay, I hope you make my funny bone rise.
Meet you later.
And so Haman goes home glowing and begins to decorate the gallows to hang Mordecai.
We are going to make the funniest gallows ever, my wife.
How are we going to do that?
Well, we'll add bells and whistles and streamers. Ooh, how about fireworks? Brilliant idea. This is going to be so funny.
I don't think Mordecai and the Jews are going to think it's very funny or be laughing, but we will. I just love gallows humor. And my dear husband, I think it's time to reprise your song.
Oh, so it is. Sing it with me.
All the shine of 1,000 laugh lines, all the jokes we steal from Seinfeld will never be enough, never be enough. Golden Globes are still too little. These hands could hold an Oscar. It'll never be enough, never be enough for me. Never, 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 unless we're
Well, P.T. Barnum was continuing his search for all kinds of acts for his circus, and he put out an ad, and he got a reply from a man who said he was the most famous Jewish pole vaulter in the world. And P.T. says, well, I don't even think I've ever heard of you. What's your name? He says, well, my name is Alexander Lazarewski Kleinenfeld. And he said, well, I don't think I've heard of you. He says, how do I know you're a pole vaulter? He says, well, I always carry my pole with me. He says, I don't see any pole. And so he reached in his bag, and he actually pulled out this pole that he had in his bag. And so P.T. Barnum was quite impressed and actually hired him.
He's good with the pole. And so the time comes for the Queen's big shindig.
She holds it in the only place she can, under the big top tent.
Everything's almost ready. There's only one more thing we need. Send in the clowns.
We have a little bit of a problem with that.
What's wrong?
They're back at the Finkelsteins. I mean, the podiatrists.
Oy vey.
Bunions we miss, toes out of groove, not even Moses around with his aching hooves. Where are the clowns? Where are our clowns? Our feet are still killing us.
Queen?
The past, the present, and the future walked into a bar. It was tense.
A good one.
Welcome to Queen Esther's Purimicus. Please make yourself comfortable.
It's party time.
Gosh, Heman came too. I have clowns ready with different jokes, and you have to guess which comedian wrote them.
Once, I wanted to become an atheist. I gave it up. They have no holidays. Take my wife, please.
I know. Call on me. It's Henny Youngman.
Great. Now a little harder one.
Why aren't dogs the leaders of our planet? If you see two life forms, one of them is making a poop, the other one is carrying it for him, who would you assume is in charge?
Oh, I know this one. Jerry Seinfeld.
Great. Now try this one.
Once I was with two men in one night. Never again. I could hardly walk afterwards. 2 dinners? That's a lot of food.
You have me stumped on that one.
Oh, me too. Probably because she didn't curse. But it was none other than Sarah Silverman.
Oh, I love Sarah Silverman. So funny.
Oh, super funny. I have another one, and you might know him because he's a Buffalonian.
So now, welcome from Shir Shalom and someone you listen to every morning on 97 Rock, Rob Lederman!
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. I don't want to ruin the show for anybody, but I happened to see this in Toronto. Actually, not as good as this.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Heyman, nice to see you. I like the mustache and the hat. Where's the bull? All right. King, how are you? I'll tell you how you tell a joke here, Heyman, okay? Here's how you tell a joke. A guy walks into a library and he says, I'd like a cheeseburger and a Coke. And the librarian goes, this is a library. He goes, I'm sorry, I'll have a cheeseburger and a Coke. I'll leave you with this one. Knowing what Jews call circumcisions, why would you call the best food in the world brisket? Tip your ancestors. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
What do they all have in common?
Well, they're comedians.
All right, how about this guy? Maybe he can help you out.
Okay, this is a song that, there's a lot of Christmas songs out there and not too many Hanukkah songs. So I wrote a song for all those nice little Jewish kids who don't get to hear any Hanukkah songs. Here we go. Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah.
I just love Adam Sandler.
But I still don't see what they all have in common.
They're all Jewish. All of them. And someone is trying to kill every single one of them.
But that would kill comedy. Who would want to do that?
Him!
Remove him from my sight! He is painfully not funny!
So, they bring out the gallows intended for Mordecai and put Haman on it instead.
Not funny enough, humor, humor. Not funny enough, humor, humor.
There is only one thing still missing from this Purim Spiel.
And what's that?
More Hugh Jackman.
Good dynamites. I saw the spiel begin to dim and felt that Jerusalem wind blow cold. A comedian learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the schmaltz won't hold. 'Cause from then rubble one remains, can only be what's true. If all was lost and one remains, could it lead me back to Purim? From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by Purim lights. From now on, what's waited till Adar starts tonight? Tonight, let this feel within me heart like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now